Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series with a new lease on life and a new legal ability to start doing everything that I've been doing since I was 18. That I'm probably still not going to be doing since I have no moral compass whatsoever, and everything that I've done I really don't care about anymore. So I'm not going to be doing everything that I can legally do now, but if you're out there and you can, my power to you. As long as you're not hurting anybody and as long as you're being responsible. Be responsible. Wash your fucking hands. That being said, today we're going to be looking at a little series that has not been requested, but I have done anyway. You want to know why? Because I kind of just do what I want. That being said, today we're going to be... I have it written down like back there. As you can see, new background. Why? Because I'm going to be honest, a puppy came into my room and peed on the side of my background, and then I had to get it washed, and I am also going to be switching up the rooms that I'm doing this in because family matters, don't need to worry about it. So I don't want to set it up yet. Also, I got a whole bunch of new equipment. That being said, today we're going to be reviewing episode 1 of Muttsuri do Sukebe episode 1, done by our friends over at Bunny Walker with a total of 15 minutes and 50 seconds of running time. I know, not a lot, but hey, you gotta squeeze in a small one every once in a while, otherwise you're not gonna have a good day to follow. With a total of 12 categories, notable of which are MILF, gotta love those moms everybody, Mother's Day is coming up pretty soon. Harem, gotta keep everybody in line. If you don't got at least 7 girls and 2 guys in the back, you ain't gonna be running at full capacity. And incest, because some of us live in Alabama, not me, I may live in the South, but goddamn, I do not live that far south. This is a series as old as time, you know. What are you doing, step bro? Watching your OnlyFans. Clearly, we are meant to be together. That being said, today, let's go ahead and just, jump right into it. Why? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm trying to, push myself back into it because I took my break after my birthday, and I just let Christmas go on, and fuck, jumping back into these things is tough. Swing of things, get back into it. I can do this. So you see, the episode itself starts off with our main character. I forgot his last name. I forgot his name because they are all main character. Essentially, what he does is he walks into a horny ass club, just straight up walks in. And you ever seen the movie Walk Hard? John C. Reilly, the story of Dewey Cox, kind of a make fun of all those sorts of movie based or music based movies, where he walks in and is like, people came here to dance, horny, and you're killing the vibe. And then they're all just straight up just getting laid on the dance floor. That's pretty much what's going on. Which leads into scene number 1. Not a very long one, but I'm going to list it anyway. Scene number 1 goes from 30 seconds and goes all the way to 45 seconds. Yeah. We're about 3 minutes in on this whole thing, and we're going to sit here and talk about a 15-minute scene. I would not count it because it's only 15 goddamn seconds, but wow. Lots going on. I feel like I need to mention it. After the gratuitous amounts of literal just banging on a dance floor, he kind of walks by and he sees who's that girl over there? Gets a little bit closer. She leans down. Stepsister, what are you doing? She's paying for college. Fuck off. Some of us got to do shit we don't want to do. Work at a Walmart. That being said, I'm not going to talk about that anymore. The main character essentially let's hold up. Rewind time, and then goes back at his place. Either that or he runs into her twice at the same place in the same meal. I'm not even gonna try it. I'm just gonna say time skips backwards, to which case main character just kind of he gets back at his house. We introduce the fam, get to know everybody, every single person that may or may not contain a scene. They don't. Most of this is just the one girl. He then walks by an area and sees what's going on over there. Opens the door. It's an OnlyFans stream. This bitch out here getting money. And you want to know what that means? That means you can blackmail people. To which case, hey, saw your OnlyFans. I'll keep quiet. And she's like, do you want me to fuck you? He's like, yes. I really wanted it to be can I film it so I can put it on my OnlyFans? I'm like, that feels like content you can push out. Like, step bro, what are you doing? $5,000 right there. To which case it leads into scene number 2. Scene number 2 starting at 4:20, nice, and goes all the way to 8 minutes and 15 seconds. 3 minutes and 55 seconds, not bad at all. That being said, right after that, it pretty much just like skips back to the club, like right after he found her, and afterwards it kind of just like shows them. And he's like, I found you at the club being a hoe. And she's like, you already saw me like being an OnlyFans model. And he's like, you got me there, but I got you here. To which case she's like, is this blackmail? And he's like, the darkest of blackmail, the blackest of blackmail. And she's like, this feels kind of racist the more I keep this joke going. And he's like, yes, but it's become very meta at this point. So I'm going to not say it anymore. Disregard this whole thing. I don't know where I was going with this joke. I do all of these jokes live, and this is all improv. That being said, after doing the whole blackmail thing, to which case, they kind of just hook up over there. No qualms other than that, which leads into scene number 3. Scene number 3 runs from 9 minutes and 25 seconds and goes all the way to 11 minutes and 30 seconds. 2 minutes and 5 seconds? Not bad. And can't necessarily say the scenes themselves are that impressive so far, but there's only one more. That being said, right after that scene, it kind of just cuts to them like going home and then just like being at home. To which case, they then hook up again, which leads into scene number 4. Scene number 4 goes from 11 minutes and 50 seconds and goes all the way to 14 minutes and 15 seconds. And that's like 2 minutes and 25 seconds, I believe. 2 minutes and 25 seconds, yeah. To which case, in this whole like scene, it kind of like it transitions from a different girl in a different scene overall. Kind of just like making it to where like somebody's getting laid and it's this guy, and then he's just like swapping characters on the fly. And afterwards, getting out of the scene, getting out of like that itself, he then sees the mother actually in the background with her hand in her vagina. To which case, you find out that she is gross and has been watching this whole thing, and he, with his stepsister, says, "Stepmother, what are you doing?" To which case he pulls her in, and then the episode ends. I know, could have had a better scene, but no, we're gonna stop at 4. That being said, it's kind of where it ends, and I can't really say much that's memorable about it. Normally, I don't like to do these where I like script it a while in advance, and then I end up doing it later in a backlog, but that's unfortunately what's going on. That being said, I feel like this speaks more characteristically to the ratings I'm about to give it. Because let's just go ahead and get into the ratings. The ratings themselves, starting off with animation. Animation, it's a 5 out of 10. It's very, I'm trying to be like a little bit more like brutal on these things, because on the inside, I don't want to be mean. I don't want to call down on hard work that a lot of people have given, and I don't want to like make that hard work less like favored. Like, somebody put their heart and soul into this, and then I'm over here with like less than 200 subscribers. Shit, we are really close to 200 subs. I keep forgetting about that. If you like this, keep subscribing. It's really fun to do. Or I will get gross. That being said, after like the animation is considered, it's not exactly great. Like, it's very middle of the road. Like, I can't say anything good about it. I can't say anything bad about it. I feel like saying it's below average is kind of like being a little too unfair, but being like above average is like, I didn't see anything that was above average. But so 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, just flat line across the board. To which case, let's get into story and characters. Now, story and characters for this, not necessarily anything groundbreaking. It's very much a main character finds horny area and then exploits horny area, to which case he can then repeat as needed. And I can't necessarily say there's anything like great about the way that he does it, and I can't necessarily say there's anything good about the way that he does it. So it's pretty much like, the character's not super likable, but he's also not saying anything that's like offensively bad. Like, in one hand, like mediocrity. On the other hand, tropes that can be fun when used right. And it's definitely used. To which case, it also leads out in a 5 out of 10. Like, this is very middle of the road sort of thing. I know if this is somebody's favorite, my heart goes out to you, and my my empathy goes out to your poor abused genitalia that has not been used for good things. This is not something you should waste your time on. At least not this isn't the main show, how to say. So 5 out of 10 for story and characters, and let's go ahead and get into what we're all really here for. The plot. Now the plot, I'll admit, a little bit better than the other two. Like, there are scenes in this that, like, you could, like, ooh. But they're not, like, regular enough to do anything, and the scenes that aren't good just aren't good in general. Like, starting off, the first scene of the whole thing, which I did count completely. If you decide not to count the first scene that's in here, like the first 15-second scene that's just them in the horny club, then you really only come out with 3 scenes, which isn't bad for something that's 15 minutes long. But also, then it just goes from like the start of the series to 4 minutes in with nothing. And when you have 15 minutes to work with, that's a third of the thing that you are not going to be able to use. And likely a minute of that is also credits. So that's also another thing that you just wasted right there. And I can't necessarily say that there's anything like great about it. It's slightly above average with like one scene, and that's the last scene in the whole thing. And the one reason I said it's good that I waited a long time before actually reviewing this, a long time in my time, to you guys, it's been like almost a week and a half, is that it's not memorable in any way. Like, I don't bring up like specific scenes when I say that this is good. I remember writing this down. It was very fresh in my mind when I wrote this down, and I feel like it still holds true. Like, there's nothing memorable, but it's also like, I remember a few things for a reason. So I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Solely for the fact that this is a 6 out of 10. And there's bits of it, but it's not really memorable. If it was horrible, I'd remember it. If it was amazing, I'd remember it. But this is middle of the road, slightly above. So I'm going to also give it a 6 out of 10. So bringing all the numbers up, that comes up to... Nope. 21 out of 30. No, that ain't right. 16 out of 30. 16 out of 30, which divided by 3 comes up to 5.3, which rounded down is a 5. This episode itself, if there is a second episode, because I don't actually remember if there's a second episode, is a 5 out of 10. This is something that I wouldn't recommend, like using both barrels on. I would recommend using this as the startup by like skipping through it and then being like, that's a tag that I'm willing to see if there's more of. And then past that point, not necessarily anything that I'd recommend any further. Like, this isn't a plot that you'd sit down and watch. This isn't characters that you'd get invested in. And this damn well sure ain't like scenes that you're like accurately like sinking like missiles into. But other than that, 5 out of 10, middle of the road. You can't play jump rope if you don't have like the middle rope that you need to go like below and above. So, I think it works out. 5 out of 10. Would recommend like browsing really quickly and then moving past. So that being said, that's the end of the review. Thank everybody for being here. I just want to once again say thank you to everybody who is here, everybody who subscribed, everybody who unsubscribed to be like, it's not my thing anymore, or he hasn't posted in a minute. Completely understand. If you don't like it, then you don't like it, and you can move on. It's 100% okay. But also to the people who stayed and subscribed, thank you fucking, oh my god. I've been doing this for almost, actually, I think my first video was almost 700 days ago. But that was like when I didn't even know what I was doing, and before I even had this series. So if we count like the first like start of the series, it's almost a year. 200 subs in a year is not fucking bad. If we can hit 200 subs, that'd be really cool. 200 subs before New Year's. That's impossible, but I wanted to go. That being said, thank you everybody for being here. I appreciate the hell out of all of you, and I'm going to go ahead and end it there. So remember, have a nice day. Don't be a dick. There's too many. And wash your fucking hands. I will eat them if you don't. I've been the doctor. Peace.